Hello my friends, welcome to another episode of Diablo 3. My name is Wilfred. So in this episode, I'd like to share with you my thoughts on how to complete the Trag'Oul set dungeon for the Necromancer. And two parts of the video. Part one is to talk about the skills and the gear that I've used, as well as some tips for you. Part two is the actual gameplay itself on how I completed the set dungeon with a rather good margin of timing as well. The good news is for Trag'Oul set dungeon, you do not need to tweak your gear at all. You can use your the Trag'Oul gear that you use for speed run or even your end game. It will work. So that is one thing great about it. You don't need to artificially nerf yourself or use some kind of different gear in order to complete the set dungeon. You just go in as is and you win. Also, it's very straightforward. It's not difficult at all, and you could also carry your follower inside. It doesn't really matter. It just it'll work either way. Now of course there are two gear version usually when it comes to Diablo 3. One is the speed run, the other one is the end game run. I would suggest you do the speed run version using the boots. They will help you to gain certain speed as you use Blood Rush. Not mandatory, but it will make your life a little bit easier. So that's one part of it. Now, suffice to say, in order to attempt the Trag'Oul set dungeon, you will need to have the entire Trag'Oul set, meaning that all 6 items or at least 3 set bonus being light up. And with the Ring of the Royal Grand Duel, which I'm using here, I do not need to have the entire kind of like entire 6 items to be there. So I mix it with the Guardian set to give me more kind of vitality and so on, because this build kind of needed that way. And for the rest of the gear is very straightforward. You can use Funerary Pick and the Iron Rose. For season 27, you can sanctify an item even if without a sanctification. You still will work. So don't worry about that. And as far as the amulet wise is a Haunted Vision for your simulacrum. And the rings is Crispin Sentence and Conversion of Elements. I reckon for this set dungeon, you don't really need to have all this fanciful stuff and you still win. So these 3 items are all optionals for you. And then for the Kanai Cube, I'm using a Blood Tie Blade to increase my Death Nova. I'm using the Aquila Cuirass to be more durable. As I said before, I use Ring of the Royal Grand Duel. So looking at this set itself, I would say that the only thing mandatory is the Trag'Oul set to have the entire 6 or 5 items, depending on how you mix your set. That is the mandatory items. It's nice that the Funerary Pick as well as Iron Rose. Is it really mandatory? No, it isn't. You will see it later. And good to have the Aquila Cuirass because that will make you more durable inside the set dungeon. Is it mandatory? Not really, but it's very highly desirable. Do you need the Blood Tie Blade? As you can see later, most of my damage comes from the mage itself, so it doesn't really matter so much. So just bear in mind, Trag'Oul set is a must, and then the rest of it, mix and match whatever you have. And anyway, you're working towards your end game. You should have some of these items, if not all, for before you kind of attempt your set dungeon. All right, cool. Now, so that is the gear that you've got. Dam wise, you don't really need to have all these dams that I put in. You can put any dams you like. Again, not mandatory. Pretty straightforward for this set dungeon. Skill wise, now that is kind of important. Skill wise, you need to heal yourself X percentage, and you need to also consume your health to deal damage for X percentage. So the 2 skill that you really need is a Devour with the Cannibalize buff to gain back your health as you pop the Mage life support to burn your health down. So these 2 go in tandem. You keep burning your health, and then after that you keep devouring the corpse to regenerate your health, and these 2 just go side by side until the 2 objectives are done. Then you can do whatever you want, like Sieve and Blood, Death Nova, the usual stuff that you just burn the rest of the enemy down. Blood Rush is very desirable. Of course, it must have the Blood Rush to get to places, so that go without saying. So that's all really. I mean, that's all that you need. Whether you need any of this like passive or not is entirely up to you. Final Service is always good to just as an insurance, but other than that, you don't need anything. I mean, all this kind of pick is more from the end game or perspective, so it doesn't really make sense for this set dungeon. I just make the minimum effort in order to complete it. So to recap, the only trick to this build, if you are doing endgame, you use the frailty as well as something else like a bone armor, right? So you replace these two with Devour, Cannibalize, and the Skeleton Mage, life support, and you'll be awesome. It's very, very easy. So all the best. If you have any question you'd like to ask me, feel free to drop me a comment below, and do check out the pinned comment below in case I have other tips to share with you that I have not covered in this video. Otherwise, like I said, it's very straightforward. All the best.
Embraces you. Give it more time. All must serve the cycle. Make a fine choice. Give it more time.